You got your thymus. What does your thymus do?
Different
T-cell,
lymphatic
T-cells.
tissues.
You got your spleen. What does your spleen do?
It recycles old red blood cells.
It does that, but for our purposes here, so thumbs up. For our purposes here, though, it's just a large lymphatic tissue that does most of your lymphatic stuff because it's got a great blood supply. Even though they're not organs, you should know your lymph nodes are located cervically, axillary, lingual. You should know that any tonsils are going to be in your throat. And if I say priority patch, you say intestines. Great. On those models, I'm going to put out an eyeball. You should be able to tell me if it's a left eye or a right eye. If you guys don't know how to do that, my recommendation would be, after we go over this, bust out an eyeball. All right, on an eye, you should know what each of the muscles are called. So, what's the one on top going straight back? Superior rectus, bottom straight back. On the sides, medial and lateral. If it's on the left of an eye, is it going to be medial or lateral? It depends on which eye. So if it's the left of my right eye, it's going to be medial. If it's the left of my left eye, it's going to be lateral. So it depends. Then you need to know your superior oblique, which, how can you tell the superior oblique? It inserts underneath superior rectus, inferior oblique inserts underneath the other one. Actually, the insertion of the inferior oblique can be really variable, but the superior oblique is almost always underneath superior rectus. Okay. So, fortunately, I gotta bust out my key here because I just said, what is this label structure? Alright. So, one eye busts open an eyeball, and it could either be a eyeball model or it could be one of those cow eyeball pictures that I took. You should be able to tell me if the thing I'm looking at is a lens, if it's a ciliary body, suspensory ligament, part of the iris. Alright? So you're going to see those stripes, you should tell me what's what. So how do you know what the lens is? Very clear, circular. How can you tell suspensory ligament? Lines on the inside attached to the lens. How can you tell ciliary body? It's kind of hard to tell, but it'll be attached to the suspensory ligaments. And how can you tell the iris? That's going to be kind of in front of the eye, still striking. Okay, know the muscles of the iris. You got two muscles. What are they? Sphincter muscle, what's that do when you contract it? Contracts the pupil. You've got the radial, which does what? Dilates. So if I say your iris muscle contracts, what are you going to say? Which one? Remember, which one? All right, so when we have one of our models in there and I open it up, you should be able to tell me if I'm pointing to the optic disc, the macula, the fovea centralis. Those are the major things you'll see in there. And if I'm pointing to a place, you should tell me if that's going to probably have more cones or more rods. So if I'm pointing to the fovea centralis, is that going to have more cones or rods than, what's going to have the highest place of cones? Centralis. And when we're on the outside, you can have a lot of rods. Great. Okay. When I show you, when you bust out some of the ear models, you should be able to tell me what the different bones are.
You did say bones in the ear, right?
Bones in the ear. Malleus, stapes, incus, And you should tell me what they do, their function. All right. You should be able to identify the semicircular canals. You should be able to tell me, based on those semicircular canals, what they're involved in, as far as if they're involved in hearing or taste or smell or flying or love. And you should be able to tell me how they work. You should be able to identify the organ according and tell me where it's located in the body. And head is not specific enough. All right. I'm going to switch this one up. So one of these guys was, each year I focus on some different things people are asked. We never really talked about the cribriform plate, did we? No. What is it? Why is the cribriform plate important?
It's where it's where your olfactory bulb and tract are, and it's how you can smell.
Yes, awesome. So, you have olfactory cilia, sniff that in your nose, and then the nerves that are going back are going to go through the cribriform plate, and that is the bone that is right above your nose, actually in your nose here, and if that gets cracked, that's why you got a lot of problems with smelling. We never really went through that and located it and stuff. We also didn't have a decent model to do that. Why do we have a skeleton in here? Seriously, isn't every anatomy lab obliged to have a skeleton? All right, so instead that will be something different. And what that will be is, there are two questions on there, 15 and 16, and both of those are going to be questions plucked from your quizzes. So make sure you know those quiz questions. How many quiz questions do you have?
30.
45 quiz questions. 3 quizzes, 15 each. So how many of those will be on the exam?
2.
10. 10 of those will be on the exam. So know them all. What if you got something wrong and you're not sure what the answer is? Who can you ask? You guys. So go to a friend and say, hey, I got 5 wrong. What did you get for it? Oh, can you explain to me why that was right, why mine was wrong? Rather than what you got for 5. Great, thanks. Gone. You're not going to get it. Ask them to explain. It'll help both of you. All right. So I am going to have a slide on there of I could have taste bud, I could have nasal epithelium, and you're going to have to know, am I showing you taste bud? Am I showing you nasal epithelium? Am I showing, am I showing you organ of Corti? That could also be on there. So remember all those slides we looked at the beginning, and it was, hard to tell, and some of you were looking at different places? Well, that's what you need to look for. Okay, can I look at something and say, hey, this is from the ear? Can I look at something and say, hey, this is tongue, this is nose epithelium? You'll be required to do that. When you are on the microscopes, what are you allowed to do during the practical with the microscope? Focus, that is it, using the fine focus. If you can't see what it is, what do? You say, hey, don't just raise your hand. All right, I'm going to be up here, and a lot of time when I'm up here, I might be looking at cat videos. Nobody knows what I'm doing up here on my computer. All right, so just say, Dr. Schwartz, or hey, now we'll come over. Do not adjust the stage, okay? Is this on a curve? If somebody doesn't get 100, will I raise it up?
No.
Yes. But that will never be an issue. There's going to be lots of 100s in here. So it's not on a curve. Don't think, well, if I move it over a little bit, that'll just screw up, raise my grade by screwing everybody else up. First, dude. I've had that happen before. A couple of times. People are jerks. Okay. Question 21, 22, 23, 24. Does it really matter what question number? But those are all going to be blood slide questions. I'm going to take a blood slide. I'm going to throw it out at a microscope. I'm going to focus in and censor it and put the pointer on one type of blood cell, and you're going to have to tell me about it. So first you're going to have to identify it, and then you're going to have to say, what does it do? Does it release histamines? Does it carry oxygen? Does it create antibodies? Does it recruit other cells? Does it release heparin? All that kind of fun stuff. So 4 questions, make sure you know. Oh, more questions from your quizzes. All right, so 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. That's 8 questions, are all on the hearts. I am going to point to a structure. It could be on the pictures of that heart we dissected, it could be on our heart models, and I will ask you one of 3 questions. Question 1, what is this? Question 2, where did blood come from before entering here? Or question 3, where is blood going after it leaves here? So what you'll need to do is basically know heart circulation down pat. If you know it, 8 questions, instant. Should we run through it really quickly? Okay. Let's look it up.
So what is this?
Really
Where is
quick.
blood going?
We'll go through it slower. So blood goes from the body. It has no oxygen. What's it going into? Superior vena cava if it's from your head, inferior vena cava if it's from your rest of not head. Then where's it flow into? Right atrium. It goes from the right atrium into the right ventricle through the tricuspid. Awesome. How does it get from the right atrium to the right ventricle? What's the force? Right ventricle opening up. Some of it from the right atrium contracting, but remember, right ventricle opening up is how most of that blood gets through. You're now in the right ventricle, contraction, where's that blood going? Pulmonary artery, or pulmonary trunk to the pulmonary artery. I could have pulmonary trunk, I could have pulmonary arteries. I'm not going to put both, because that's kind of jerkish. I'm not that jerkish. And what valve is it going to? Pulmonary semilunar valve. Now you're in the pulmonary artery, and you are oxygenated or deoxygenated? Deoxygenated. Remember, only artery in a male that's going to carry deoxygenated blood. If you're a lady, can you have another one?
Yes.
And that is the, congratulations, yes, umbilical. So, you go to the lungs now. Now you have oxygen. After the lungs, you go to the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein, even though it's a vein, it is oxygenated. Only blood vessel in a male is going to have oxygenated blood. Or only vein in a male is going to have oxygenated blood. Then you're going into the left atrium, from the left atrium to the left ventricle through the bicuspid, also known as the mitral valve. Left ventricle, you're going out the heart to the aorta, through the aortic semilunar valve, aorta to the rest of the body, and then back again. Great. If you know that, if you're like, dude, why are you explaining this? We know it. And yeah, I can point out the heart. I'm game. 8 questions. Easy. All right. 5. So, you need to know the supply So even though the heart gets all the blood going through it, it doesn't get to use any of that blood. So you need to be able to identify on a heart the heart blood supply. So how does the heart get blood? Through what? Coronary arteries. And how does that blood leave? Coronary sinus. So remember, you have to identify the coronary sinus. Okay. I will definitely, let's see. Alright. So there will be a valve question on there. Know the purpose of the valve. So I might point to a valve and I might say, what is this called? What's its purpose? Or I might point to two structures and say, what valve's between here and what's it do? Alright. You're going to have to look at a slide and tell me if something is an artery or vein. And more than likely, that slide I pick is going to have both an artery and a vein on it, but the pointer will be to one of those. And you're going to have to know kind of what's in the different layers of these guys. So you've got muscle, you've got elastin, what the tunics are called. 41. Oh, more quiz questions. 43 and 44. More from the quiz. Okay. So 45, 46, 47, 48. Not 49, oh my gosh, 49, 50, but at least it stops at 50. Oh, 51 and 52. 8 questions on blood vessels. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a model. It could be an arm, it could be a leg, it could be one of the models in here, it could be those dudes sitting up there. I'm going to point to it, I'm going to say either, what is this? Where was blood coming from when it went in here? Where's blood going to? Or what does this supply? And sometimes it's going to be pretty obvious. You know, if it's in the leg, it's not supplying the brain. But other times you might look at a carotid and be like, okay, wait a second. You gotta know if it's internal or external, because I know the internal carotid supplies the brain, and external supplies the facial stuff. Or where it took blood away from. As you guys have figured out, I'm more of an artery guy than a vein guy. Even though in real life, I'm more of a vein guy. Thank you. No points for laughing, but I appreciate that. Okay. You got 2 questions about capillaries. Relatively easy. Just kind of know what they are. Know where they're located. Know what the purpose of them is. Where are your capillaries mainly located? Everywhere, yeah, everywhere. If you've got tissue, you've got capillaries. Because if you got tissue without capillaries, you've got bad tissue. Okay. Oh, looks like last time I kind of ran out of questions. So another eye question. So look at the eye models. Know your different tunics for the eye. Oh man, more from the quiz. Oh man, more from the quiz. That's it. So, if there's anything that I did not mention there,